Battle control initialized.
Hello there, comrades and cannon fodder. It's Dvoid here. I've got a 1v1 multiplayer game on Timian map for you. I'm using Russia for this game, and my opponent's using Ukraine. Got production tab on. My opponent's got a kennel, so he's got a dog straight away. If I was actually making a kennel in my early game build, I would have the dog I would train the dog as early as possible. So I'm using its view range benefits for as soon as possible. Get the advantage that you're hoping to get from the dog as quickly as possible into battle. But in this case, he's actually sent his dog after my engineer, look, which is why I do tend to escort it. And this is an example of why, And the dog, he was vulnerable. The dog could have got him if it had gone a different route. My guy, I've sent someone here, look, a rifleman, to look for the enemy engineer. And if I leave him there, he'll bump the enemy engineer, or should bump into him. But the dog's had no luck, so he's coming back. And I've got a formation easily able to protect my engineer. But my opponent's got a soldier in the same place I have pretty much, except his engineer is going to cross paths with him, whereas mine isn't. And here, this is the dog. And yes, it's a fair use trying to find the engineer here, but I wouldn't use the dog on its own after that. I would have him with some infantry, just to get that benefit. Oh, I've got the engineer, look. He's a veteran, so yeah, the engineer ran straight into him. But I wouldn't, he's firing blind, but I would use the dog with infantry after that, after it had finished looking for the engineer. I would then have my dog with the infantry, and I would never move it ahead. In fact, I'd move them ahead first and let the dog catch up, maybe on guard mode, and then if you put the dog on guard mode on one of these rifles, as they move ahead, move them ahead in small cell, 1 or 2 cell movements, like a centimetre or 2, and keep the dog grouped closely with them. But here we go, he's got a dog again, and he's using its view range. You see the dog's view range compared to the infantry, look. That's the infantry's normal view range, and this is with the dog. So the dog can see my troops, but I can't see anything, look. See that? So he'll be able to pick off my troops. And for some reason he's not doing. Yeah, there you go, look. So I'm in a bad way here. Now, that's his maximum range of vision, and I'm bringing a vehicle. So my vehicle will draw the fire, and these men will do the rest. I made sure to take out the 2 rocket troops. Luckily, that's all there were. Now, I've lost my oil derrick because he destroyed it. So I'm going to go and take his. But I need to get my engineer. I don't want to go there and reveal my position and have the engineer take ages to get there and him know what I'm doing and give him time to prepare a snipe or something. So I thought, go pick up the engineer and then go there, bring him to the oil derrick in a vehicle and then reveal my position. But as it turns out, he hadn't captured it because obviously my engineer had taken it and he hasn't made another, not for this, to take that. So at the moment, these troops are protecting it. And I still need to do repairs on the APC, and I didn't want to send it away. I wanted the view range benefit from it, even though it's only at half health. I couldn't bring myself to send it away from my infantry just yet. When I get the view range benefit from the oil derrick, I was thinking, send this for repairs, and these guys can use the oil derrick's view range just for now, to cover them for the moment, and send this APC for repairs. But I'm now sending troops out to scout ahead of my MCV, because it should be rolling out soon. I've got a 7,000 value army, my opponent's got 3.5. But there's 2 guys in that APC, so I did notice it. I saw my rifle guard fire, so here you go, look, you see I'm sending units to respond. I did notice that. I just didn't know what he had in it. I was expecting an engineer, which is why this backed away. I think he probably saw it. But what got out were 2 grenadiers. and an attack move won't cut it. They'll attack the APC, so I need to literally order them to target the grenadiers, look. And my engineer's way exposed out front there. But we've got a mine layer operating at my primary ore patch, look. And I saw that happening, so I thought, right, I've got to be careful here. And the first thing, I used my APC on shift command to shoot the mines, because I saw exactly where he placed them. Here you go, we've got a base push towards the oil derrick, because this is his expansion. But this guy was placed on hold fire, so he shouldn't reveal his position by shooting, but the enemy will catch him if they order troops there. But he'd done his job, told me what's going on, and there's the enemy mine layer. But you know, these, I've been shooting the mines, there's one left, and I built my own mine layer. Ah, there you go, I lost a couple of troops from one of those mines, and I've destroyed the last one. So I thought, well, I'll put lay some mines here. But the APC, I didn't realise he'd have been parked so close. I didn't realise it had been so heavily damaged. But I'm moving on to my second expansion because the MCV's unpacked. It's in MCV mode, and I'm sending my APC to scout ahead, but it hasn't got grenadiers in it yet, and that gave me the idea for a gren drop. But I'm escorting my army. I've got a 16,000 value army, my opponent's at 9,000, so I've got a nice lead. There you go, there's another expansion. Yeah, his mine layer's busy, look. He's ordered to place mines there, up there in that corner now. My engineer, look. Vulnerable. Poor guy's been left. I wonder if he spotted him. Oh, that's a shame. I abandoned him. Sorry about that, engineer. That's a shame. But I'm taking control of this ore field, and this is where I bump into some enemy units. I'm at 18, 19, 20 now. He's at 12,000. And my frontline units are stood still. These units are moving to make a better formation, a more concave, longer frontline formation, because that's the best way to fight. So more of my units are attacking at once. If I've got a big group of units in a blob at the back, they're not in the battle. So, you know, an enemy could deal with the front line and then deal with these, and it's as if they're two separate forces. So you have to get all your units attacking at once. So stop your frontline units immediately when you see enemy forces, get tanks in front, and then get the rear units to extend the front line. My opponent's got a flamer drop I've dealt with. I've placed some mines at the top, but we've got a base raid here, and I saw that my opponent's got a reasonable force to stop me there, so I had to press the stop command. There you go. Yeah, press the stop command, just because I didn't want to keep advancing further and further into the enemy view range. I thought I've got to make use of what assets I've got without making it worse. There's his mine layer. Is it going for crushes? Oh, I got destroyed. And these two tanks, I thought I'd move them away a little bit, just to cause a bit of a nuisance. And draw some units away, I thought. But my opponent's expanded up here nicely. He's at 8,000 army value, I'm at 16, so it's leaving me forces to do this, look, and now I've got a gren drop prepared. But he's destroyed that army there, so he did well. It's at 15, now I'm back at 16,000. My opponent's at 10,000 now, so he is increasing in army value, that's a good sign. But I've moved forward, I've got this expansion. And there's my grenadier drop in the APC. 5 grenadiers in an APC making their way around to find the enemy base. And I haven't revealed a lot of it, look, but I'm hoping for nice, juicy, vulnerable power plants. That's what I'm hoping to find. Here's my attack up here. Draw some units away, and I quickly realised he's got no units defending it. Some base defence is alright, but no units to meet me. And I've moved straight through. It looks like the construction yard's drawing my attention. Now would have been a good time for the grenadier drop. But we've got the construction yard, and then I thought I'm retreating because I'm in the middle of his buildings here. I did have 3 tanks though, I'd probably have been alright. I could have destroyed his tanks easily, but my opponent looks like he's called it. But I did end up using the Gren drop, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a misclick or something. I don't even remember noticing that. But, you see, I'm still going, and what I thought, I'm regrouping my army. I'm at 20,000, my opponent's at 15,000 now, but here's my Grenadier drop, and I found nothing that was favourable, so I've moved through the base to escape, so I don't waste the APC and Grenadiers, just to reveal a little bit more and show me what's here. Yeah, so I've seen that there are vulnerable structures, but that wasn't, the conditions weren't right for using that Gren drop, so I've moved it away. There was no point risking it there. So I've moved in my main force. I've regrouped my infantry from here, and his attack there, he's destroyed a refinery, and had to go here, look. But here's my attack. My Grenadier drop is with, my APC's with my main army. But he's sent his force over this way, and he's going for this expansion, but it's all mined out. Luckily I've mined it and it's finished, so they can retreat away from the ore patch. But here we go, there's the APC with the Grenadier drop, and I'm sending it to a nice out of the way area to attack the power plants while these units keep him busy. He's got tech, he's actually got V2s. But there you go, I've ordered these guys to attack a queue of structures, power plants. This force is just left idle for the moment. And I've ordered my primary production here, so that I assume these guys will be continuing to move round and attack here. And there's another force attacking. My Grenadiers are still going strong, the last one's still alive. And I've lost that small force here. In fact, it was a decent force to start with. But, oh, there's the last Grenadier. Let's have a look at the enemy's power levels. He's done well, he's kept in power, he's in power still, he's not low power, and I've attacked here. Nice. And to overrun that expansion. I didn't get the service depot though, sadly, and he's called it. There you go. So yeah, he did hang on a bit at the end there, but yeah, he called it in the end. I didn't notice that. I'm not sure. Maybe I did. Did I reply? Yes, I did. That's good luck at the start. And then the GG, and I did type yes to the GG, but I'll type yes GG, but it doesn't mean anything to me until the game is over. I won't stop playing because someone types GG. And I'm not saying what provoked that GG from that player. It was only a minute or two ago anyway. It's no big deal, but I don't know what it was, a misclick for all I know. I don't mind, there was no harm done, but I won't end the game on a player typing GG like that, because it's not, you know, it doesn't mean much to me. It's like, as it doesn't mean the game's over to me. Some players, there's nothing I can do to hold them to that. If I think it's over and then they suddenly keep playing and win, what can I do about it? But I don't mind if some players use it as a tactic or do it accidentally or whatever. I don't mind either way, but I won't stop playing because of GG. But it was a good game. My opponent did well. That was a fairly decent game, that. So it was all right. I enjoyed it. But I just, like I say, I was lucky to get that Gren drop through, and I found nothing favourable to attack, and I was lucky I got it through the base and out of there. I was quite lucky. And when I regrouped my attack force together and went in here, he did destroy it. So it was nicely done, that. Here's the army graph, and my opponent, it looks like we're actually even there in the early game. Obviously, we know why, because we're only building a few infantry, but he's stayed like quite a bit behind, and he did start to increase in army value at 4.5 minutes. That's good, but he was a bit behind. And then he increased in army value again. These are obviously engagement points around here, because I've lost forces here at the 3-minute mark, so it was probably fighting for the oil derricks here and here. And then at the highest point of my army value, it's at 8 minutes we've had an engagement start, and then again at 11 minutes we've both suffered losses, you know. But there's the army graph, an interesting one. Earnings graph. Yeah, there you go, look, that's okay. We've both done alright for earnings, but I've got a nice earnings spike towards the end. My finishing army, a few tanks, I've got my mine layer and some troops. units. That's okay. Combat tab. I've killed 181 units. My opponent killed 214. So he did well there. And in value, I destroyed 53,000 in value. He destroyed 47,000 in value. So it was good. He actually did well. Even if you do get higher kills in unit numbers, normally you wouldn't have as close an amount in destroyed value. But because I didn't destroy that many of his buildings, he has. That's a good score. Considering that it's on the losing side, that's a decent score. That it shows how well he did. And 47,000 lost to 53,000 lost is, you know, that's a close battle. I had 17,000 army value at the end though, so that decided it. And I'd lost 4 structures. My opponent's lost 12. No support powers in effect. And I'm producing my radar dome at the moment. So I would have had support powers before too long, although I would have likely got a thief deployed first before an airfield. Here's the economy tab. I'm a bit low on cash. My opponent's got a bit, but I've got 8 ore trucks left. And I spent 96,000. My opponent spent 79,000, so that's fine. Decent economy each. And my actions per minute are 31. My opponent's actions per minute are 41. So that's 41 orders a minute compared to 31. And there's your graphs, charts and stats. I hope everyone enjoyed the game, enjoyed watching. If you like what you saw, give us a sub and a like. And take good care of yourselves. And until next time, goodbye.
Battle control terminated.